Hello, hello. Welcome to a very special edition of the LaserBeam Live. This is episode number 26, and today we are celebrating 1 year of LaserBeam Lives with you, beautiful people. You know the drill, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I appreciate you spending a little bit of your time with me. My name is Ikenna Ofoha for CNC Labs. I am your host. And today we're going to cheers to a great year of cool projects, a few failures, a botched product, but an even better product release with the Vortex. Today we are cheersing to you and your support, you and your company, you and your ideas, your jokes, your input, everything. I appreciate it. Our company appreciates it. And today we just want to chill. I just want to relax. I want to bask in the glory. There's something about routine that brings joy and happiness to one's heart. And I can say that I have felt it. When we first started this show, I was never nervous, but it was hard to get comfortable. And because of you, because of your support, because of the support we have back here with our marketing team, it has just been easier and easier and easier and easier, to the point that if I feel like if I ever canceled these, I might have to go to therapy, get a massage, something, because this is where it's at. I always feel nervous before these shows. I'm always trying to relax, not do too much. But then the moment the camera comes on, I'm alive. I feel the energy. I feel the energy. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the people at CNC Labs that make this happen. Thank you to you for watching, commenting, sharing, everything about it. I love it. I appreciate it. You are appreciated. I just want you to know that. All right. We have I've never tried this, but it is non-alcoholic because I honestly don't like to drink. But we have some bubbly here. It's also vegan for you vegan lovers out there. No animal was harmed in the making of this non-alcoholic celebratory drink. So let's get this thing ripped open. Doug, I appreciate you. I saw you 90 minutes. 90 minutes for the show, Doug was in. I think that's a new record. Please let me know if I'm wrong, but I actually do think that's a new record. Dana, I appreciate you. Kenny, I appreciate you. Jack in the shop, my laser demon brother, I appreciate you. Oh, Bill, I appreciate you. You guys are the absolute best. Oh, we are going to continue this live stream. I am never leaving. The topics may change, the products may change, but one thing that will never change is you guys and me just spending a little time making some cool things with the long mill, the laser, the vortex, and whatever new products we release in the future. I see some of you guys are excited for the super longboard. I actually got my hands on an old prototype of the super longboard, so I'm gonna get to play with it a little bit. I am also very excited. Yeah, this thing is a game changer, and all the features aren't even figured out yet. Jack was here 3 days ago. Kenny, I appreciate you. You're a cool dude too. All right, let's not get, woo! Let's go. 1 year of LaserBeam Lives, 26 shows. Nicholas, I appreciate you. Today, you remember how I brought the new camera in yesterday so we didn't have to use the overhead? Well, today it wasn't working, so today we will be going back to the overhead. I do apologize. What are we doing? Oh, I'll take a drink first. I'll cheers to you guys. Clink. Cheers to a great community. cheers to some cool projects, some failures that we learned from, and to the future. Happy New Year. All right, what are we doing today? Well, I'm not usually the sentimental type, you know. I don't really celebrate birthdays, but I do want to commemorate this achievement. This is our achievement, but I do want to commemorate it. So what are we doing today? We are making a little plaque. So I ordered this off of Amazon, and it's a little plaque. The usable area here is about like 275 millimeters by 130 millimeters. It's unfinished wood, so we're gonna get to finish it with some Danish oil, you know, my favorite finish. I think that's the only finish I ever use because I just like the way it looks and I like the outcome of it. So I'm gonna continue to use it. But I grabbed a screenshot. One of our lovely employees just digitized it, cartoonized it, you know, put it into the uncanny valley. I get the heebie-jeebies by looking at this for too long, so don't stare into its eyes, okay? I'm warning you guys now, don't stare into its eyes. It's a very uncanny valley. But I didn't want to use a regular image. We've engraved images, it's easy. But I wanted this to have more contrast, a little bit less detail for more contrast. That's essentially the give and take that I wanted here. So we ran it through some software that kind of, you know, melted all the details away and gave this very gloss version. And on the side, we're gonna have 1 year of LaserBeam live streams, and then we're gonna have the names of the people in the live stream right now. Obviously, I didn't wanna go back and just get every name that has ever appeared in the live stream. Today was a special live stream, and we made it known that it was a special live stream. So if you're here, you will be commemorated. You will be commemorated on this plaque forever and ever. It will sit in my living room. And yeah, so you will be remembered by me forever. All right. Kenny Sweet, are you picking any of it to test new products? Do I want to answer that? Nothing is solidified. We're looking at, you know, a bunch of stuff, a bunch of cool stuff. Nothing is solidified, but yes, I have a little toy that I've been building, and I really want to see what type of speeds I can get with Gerbil Hal and Lightburn's clustering. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what I can get because, you know, the long mill is maxed out at about 67, 66 millimeters per second. But that's because it's lead screw driven, right? You're gonna get whip if you run these things too fast. I've been playing around with a belt driven system for future laser projects, something like that, if we go down that route. So I wanna know, can we get away with using a super longboard with the Gerbil Hal plus Lightburn's clustering for rastering, because rastering is where you really want that speed. Can we get away pushing the speeds from 66 millimeters per second up into the 200s, 300s, maybe even 400s? I am very interested to test it. So yeah, very, very interested. Bill, I appreciate you. Doug, I appreciate you. Koala, where is Koala? I have to add Koala in here just because he has been such a mainstay. Guys, could you just type his username into the chat so I can copy and paste it? Koala is an honorary member. Even if he hasn't made it today, or even if he's just watching and he can't chat right now, I need to get Koala's carving's name up in here. I just don't know the spelling. Is it a koala with a carving with a K? If you guys could just type his username into the chat, that would help a lot. That I can just copy and paste. I know. I'm just so lazy, Jack. I'm just so lazy. Making it with a rod, I would have to come in and then put the material down and then zero it. It's a very easy process. I'm just very, very lazy, okay? Please forgive me, all right? You can get on me next stream. My goal is to start doing router jobs plus laser jobs because, yeah, it seems more interesting. It adds a new dimension. We've already done vortex. Yeah, we've already done vortex and laser jobs, so I think the next step is to do router plus laser jobs, and then maybe the next plaque, we will just cut through with the router, and then we can laser on it. Yeah, I'm not sure, like, is it koala with a K? I should know these things. I follow him on Instagram. I should just check my Instagram and double check the spelling here. He has been, just like all of you guys in the chat right now, he has been a ride or die in the LaserBeam chats. Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna double check because I don't want to mess up his username spelling. Yeah, Jack in the shop, always here. Alan, we got to throw your name up there. Thank you for joining. Thanks for participating in the chat. One second here. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. It's easier just to copy and paste from the chat. Boom, boom, boom. It is carving with a K. I knew it was, but I didn't want to make a mistake here. I'm just going to add a space just to make it look cleaner. Beautiful. We'll add Alan here. Guys, this has been, I've always wanted to live stream. Like, I've live streamed in the past, and it was always the consistency. It's hard to stay consistent. But when you have people helping you, like our marketing team, set things up, and you have the right equipment and the right setup, you guys have helped me stay consistent. You know, I plan like my life around this live stream. I make sure, and I'm not crying. I just got something in my eye. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm okay. Yeah, I plan my life around this live stream. I make sure that I'm gonna be here every other Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I come in an hour or two early. I set everything up. I start like testing designs. And yeah, and it's because you guys have been kind of so supportive that I've been able to kind of stay consistent. And our team in the back end, our marketing team. I also just want to say a very, very, very happy birthday. A very happy birthday to Louis. Louis, he made the graphics for my live stream. He helped set everything up. He helped test the lighting to make sure that I look as beautiful as possible. He is our cinematic Jedi behind the streams. If you ever saw a video and you're like, wow, that looked really great, Louis probably had the idea in his head. I want to say a big happy birthday to him. He does a great job. I know he'll continue to do a great job. He'll continue to push us in the realms of aesthetics and cinematography and editing. Oh my gosh, like you are the best. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all you've done for the stream. I appreciate all you do for our company. Happy birthday. All right, I think we're gonna do the cutoff. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. They've really been pushing out content. I know you guys have been enjoying the content. I'm gonna take another drink. Happy birthday. All right. I think we're cutting it off here. For the image, we have 25 millimeters per second. We have 90% power. Jarvis image mode. All right. For the line work, it's going to be fill for all the text. And it's going to be 25 millimeters per second, 100% power. All right. I can save the G code. I'm going to save it as year 1 in the LaserBeam Live folder. All right. Yeah, so Kenny, you know I told you I made a little project. Oh, sorry. You know I told you I made a little project. It's actually a 3D printed sets of rails, the MK2 rails, and it's actually on linear guides, and it's actually belt driven. Of course, like for a machine like the long mill, when you're doing CNC work, belt driven wouldn't be the best, but for a different machine like a CO2 laser, like belt driven will give you that speed and keep the cost relatively low, and the linear guides will give you that stability and be a lot better than V wheels. So there's a lot of ideas floating around, but this is just my little pet project. Maybe I'll bring it on to the next stream and we can play with the super longboard together, and I can show you, so that maybe that'll show you some cool stuff with the super longboard and you can kind of just see what we're playing around with. Yeah, like I don't know if you've ever used the bamboo, but the double rod two belt system, you can get extremely fast speeds with that, and you can make some really cool stuff. So I don't know, I'm playing around. I'm trying to have some fun with the design aspect of it. All right, let's pop this open and make sure it's looking how we need it to look in terms of the G code. All right, so this is why we love G-Sender Edge, because we get to see the design all in red, and we get to see our text and double check. And I'm just gonna make, I'm not a great speller, so I'm just gonna double check the spelling. 1 year of LaserBeam live streams, and then all your usernames. I made sure to copy and paste so I can't misspell anything. Oh, Jim, thank God you just messaged. You are now included. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the bamboo printer is actually amazing. Like at home, I have a Prusa MK3, but I love playing with the bamboo printer. Like it is so fun. It is so beautifully designed. Yeah, my Ender 3 is sitting in my car trunk. Yeah, just because of how much I love the Prusa, and I didn't have the space to keep both. So it's actually sitting in my trunk. I actually have two like CR10Ss, which have like 500 millimeters work area in all axes. So it's kind of crazy. Okay, Jim, we got you in here. Let's resave the code. Let's replace that. And then let's replace that here. All right, Jim, I could see you at the bottom there. Perfect. Let's double check our firmware settings. 255, 0, enabled. Let's double check that in Lightbird. Make sure our S value max. 255, we're all good on that end. We are all good here. Let's go ahead and focus our laser. So we're gonna need our glasses. We're gonna turn on our driver and just hit the reset button. There we go. We got our material, and then we just need our G2 focus finder, and we are all good. So I am going to bring this over here. There we go. And then I'm going to raise the height just a little bit. Oh, there we go. That looks just about good. Now I'm going to raise the height by about 6 millimeters, the thickness of this, and I'm going to focus it on this piece right here. So actually I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to bring it over to the start of my material. Yeah, we need a field trip, Jack. You need to show us your fiber laser, your CO2. We want to see it all. All right, I'm pretty lined up, but I'm gonna double check that. But first, I'm just gonna make sure that we're in focus. So, putting my glasses on. Ooh. Guys, if any of you guys have a nose ring, be careful when you're putting your glasses on, because I just hit mine, and that was not pleasant. All right. All right, we're pretty in focus here. Dana, if you actually have a nose ring, I'm gonna laugh very hard, but I can't imagine you with one. Maybe in your younger days, but that would be very cool if you had one. I would love that. All right. So what I'm gonna do, in order to line things up, is I'm gonna put it on dip switch 4 or dip switch 1. And in order not to burn my material, I'm going to use the laser test function where we can run it just for 1 second. So I'm gonna set the test duration to 1 second, and then I'm gonna turn it off and on so that I can put it exactly where I need it to start, but I'm not gonna add any like unnecessary burning to my material. So I'm a little bit off. So let me just, so I'm almost there on the Y, and then I could just adjust my X. So I'm a little bit off on the X. Oh, so I gotta lower these down to like 1 millimeter so I have more leeway here. And then I'm gonna throw that on. That looks almost there. I'm just gonna make some fine adjustments here. I feel like I'm very, very close. So I'm just gonna test everything again to make sure I'm all right. I just wanna be, thank you, Chris. So I am all good on my material. And let me just lower the power down a bit. And then I'm just about the corner. I could probably get it just a little bit better, like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. I am very happy with that. And then now we just lower the Z by about 6 millimeters, because that's the thickness of the material that I was using to test my focus and make sure everything was in focus. So I can drop it down. Oh, sorry, wrong direction. Drop it down. I am in focus. Zero everything. And we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and start this job. Thank you very much, Chris. You are the best. So guys, this might be, it's telling me 4 hours. I might be here for a while, but I'll stay on stream with you guys for another 45 to 50 minutes, just like last time. And then we can post the results to our social medias, and I'll show you how it looks in the next live stream as well, if you don't want to wait. because this is something I do want to come out very nice. So I don't mind waiting. Last time it was a bit of a surprise. This time I imagined that it might take a little while. But in the meantime, I will sip this non-alcoholic vegan champagne. And I will show my love and appreciation for you, the people who show up, the people who show your love and show your support. I appreciate every single one of you. Oh, I forgot to switch the dip switch. So I'm just going to switch that now. Yeah, I don't hear the best things about Marlin, if I'm being very honest. But that's very cool that you 3D printed your first CNC. I would expect nothing less from you, Jack. You seem like a very capable person. Jim, I'm not a drinker anyway, so I wouldn't even know what to compare it to. It just tastes like apple juice, like a like apple juice with extra carbonation. But I wanted the pop the cork feeling. Okay, that's essentially why I bought it. I wanted to feel that pop the cork. We did this feeling, and it accomplished that. So it could taste horrible, but I got what I needed out of it. Guys, I'm gonna try to. If you guys follow us on Instagram, follow our Facebook page, we're gonna try to post all the pictures of the completed project because obviously this is gonna take a while, and that's okay with me because I wanted this to be a real plaque that I actually hang up on my wall. So I don't mind that at all. But I know for you guys, you might not want to watch 2 hours and 50 minutes of a laser job. So that is totally fine. I understand. We're not going to make this stream that long. I'll just chat with you guys for another 30, 40 minutes. And then just like last time, we'll call it a stream. That's cool news. Jack, I haven't done long mill customer service in a little bit, but I don't think like changing the drivers has ever been something that we do that often. So that I'm pretty surprised about that. But you should reach out to our support team. They'll be able to kind of give you the numbers on that and let you know how common of an issue that is, and maybe they could even work something out with you so we can make sure you're not replacing your driver so often. Chris says that the guys at Ryan at MPCNC, he's trying to move over from Marlin to Fluid NC because he doesn't even prefer it. So that's really cool. Oh, the TB6600s. Yeah, no, they're not that expensive at all. They're not too bad. That will be redundant with the super longboard. So yeah, Gerbil Hal is very interesting. There's some very interesting features that we're all looking at. I feel like every user kind of has a different feature set that they really appreciate. So it's very cool to see all the different ones, like the A-axis in for the vortex and rotary machines, right? Uh, the the speed bump essentially with along with light burn for people who want to do laser projects like me, and I'm sure Chris and all you other CNCers have like certain features in like that you see bubbling in Gerbil How that you're like, oh my god, I would love that. So it's a very interesting piece of software. Yeah, like guys, hey, we could check that out right now. I can pop open Andy's blog post about it. It's something that he's been working on. He's been working with a lot of the BET students and some of the engineers so that we could kind of get rid of a pain point for you guys, which some of you guys, it might be your anti-backlash not working to the best of its ability. So it's looking very good, and I think we ordered a small batch that we'll have for sale, and then we want to leave that batch out in the wild for a little bit so we can, you know, hear back and see if it's going to be a long-term solution. And then if we figure that it's a long-term solution, then it's something that we can implement on every stock CNC. Hold up, let me pull this up so we can take a look at Andy's article. Okay. Yeah, like the beautiful thing about like Chris is saying in the chat, the beautiful thing about a spring-loaded anti-backlash nut is that you never have to do those micro adjustments. Like when you notice that something's off, you have to go back and maybe do a little bit of adjustment. You got to think about whether it needs to be replaced. But that's also brings a lot of simplicity. Like it also like there's pros and cons that Andy lists out in terms of testing this. Like they're inexpensive, they're simple, they're easy to manufacture, they're easy to integrate, they're low maintenance, and they generally work pretty well, right? Like this isn't going to be like a next level type of thing. I think this is just like a pain point that if it works long term, you just never have to think about it. It is install once, and it's a part that you'll never really have to think about it. Obviously, parts sometimes become faulty and things like that, but on a like statistic basis, majority of the time, majority of the customers, majority of the machines, majority of the spring-loaded backlash nuts, you just never have to deal with it. You never have to think about it. You can kind of install and leave it alone, which is kind of like a great philosophy if you're going to be installing a part on a machine like this. But obviously, sometimes parts like that are more expensive. Sometimes they might not last as long. So you might have a year or two with this one part, but you end up having to replace it after a year or two. But that year or two, you didn't have to think about it. You didn't have to touch it. You didn't have to adjust anything. So the Andy is weighing a few things, and I think it's cool to just design something, test it in house, and then be like, hey, let's do a small batch. If people like it, if it works long term, then that could be the new stock anti-backlash nut. And I think that's just a great way to release product updates, especially small product updates and part updates that we might not. It's not big enough to consider a new like mark of a machine, but hey, if it decreases the friction in a lot of our customers, our future customers' experience with the long mill, then that's a bonus. So guys, you guys can check out the blog if you want to read through this entire thing. You know us, we're very transparent when it comes to product development. Once we're kind of ready and comfortable with the process, we usually release all types of updates like this, so you can kind of go through Andy's philosophy on why he did this and how he was thinking about it, and you guys can check that out. So go check that out on the cnc.com blog site. Bing, bang, boom. And you guys can check it out. Nicholas asked, what are the color choices? I believe they're all white. I'm actually not 100% sure. So here, we'll go to the... So yeah, they're all white. There's 67 sets in stock. So guys, just like it says in the product page, I suggest that you guys check it out here, read through it, and then if you like it, give it an order. Just know that it's made for the T8 Type 4 start 2 millimeter pitch Acme lead screws. Guys, so if you have the larger lead screws, these aren't going to be good for that. You do have to kind of hang on. So just make sure that the threading is going to match with your version of the long mill and your lead screw that you use right now. So check that out if you guys want it. 67, And then if it works well long term, then I'm sure we're going to release hundreds and hundreds, and it's going to be the new stock anti-backlash nut. Yeah, Nicholas, they're going quick. Some people, they stay on top of reading our blog posts because that is kind of the first place things go. Like even when we're posting on Instagram or Facebook, usually it goes up to the blog like immediately. So yeah, so MK1 and machines without the extension, you'll be able to use that. So on the extension kit, on the MK2s, or like the MK1s with an extension kit, you have the larger lead screw, I believe, and we haven't made the spring-loaded anti-backlash nuts for those models yet. So just be aware of that, but that's why it's always good. Read through this. This will cover everything you need to know. And then if you like it, if you like what you see, you want to be, it's not so much beta testing, but it is like first batch testing. Definitely check it out. All right, let's check out on a project. We're about 7% done. Got about 2.5 hours. Yeah, guys, so Mark 1, Mark 2, you're all good. Extension kit, it won't work on the extension kit. It'll still work on any other stock T8 lead screws that you have. Sorry, I'm not even sure if it's T8. Yeah, so it'll still work on the stock T8 Type 4 2mm pitch Acme lead screws, but the extension kits have the larger one, so you're all good. Yeah, exactly. So the extension kit has a 12mm, and those, we don't have them yet. But if this is successful and people like it long term, they work, they're reliable, awesome, 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 then all of a sudden, this might become the stock, right? So very exciting. Thank you, Nicholas, for probing that. That's definitely a bit of interesting company news that we had going on. And again, just check out the blog because it's not just about product releases. It's about just about everything. If you're waiting on your machine, you want to know what's happening with production, you can check it out. If you want the updates for the super longboard, Chris usually posts updates as production and development ramps up. Guys, you guys get the updates on the Vortex. I know some of you guys have received your Vortexes, which is very exciting. We had our first pickup. Very fun stuff. And then obviously you get to check out all the contests. So this week's contest, you can see so this week is a project that is a tribute. So very cool. So check that out. Very cool stuff. I'm very proud of what we do at this company. There's always something interesting being worked on, and there's always cool stuff being made to push forward. There is a lot of strength in being so open and transparent with our production, our operations, and our product development. There is a lot of strength in that. And I think you guys kind of appreciate the transparency where you can just ask a question and like, we already have the information up there. We have the decision, like the philosophy behind the decision making. That's one of the things that really intrigued me about this company about 4 years ago when I met these guys and I saw what they were working on. And that's something that intrigues me and I'm kind of proud of to this day. Yeah, guys, if you have received your Vortex or you will be receiving your Vortex in the next little bit, there have been little tweaks, little changes, little upgrades on the very newest G-Sender Edge that should give you a smoother experience when operating it. You saw me, when I was operating it, I was able to, change a few things in Lightburn and have it running on G-Sender Edge. The first time I ran it, when we first launched the pre-order, you saw that I made a few tweaks in G-Sender in the EEPROM settings, and I was able to run it fine. So guys, if you're interested about that, again, we keep everything on the website, G-Sender. Check it out. All you got to do is under software, click on it. You can see all the new releases. G-Sender Edge can be found here. you got 1.3.0. Yeah, I agree, Nicholas. I really liked our G Sender walkthrough. They really thought about that one. They came back on a second day of shooting to reshoot certain things to make sure that the video was as informative and like entertaining to watch as possible. So definitely cool stuff. Oh yeah, definitely try Edge, guys. You can see like the visualization for laser is just like amazing. Like I was able to make sure that my file is being interpreted as I designed it in Lightburn, and I was even able to double check the text and make sure that the text was all good. Like I made sure that like we added Jim last second, and everything worked out, and I was able to double check it visually, without having to double check my file name. Oh, guys, we're not even on 1.3.0. We're on 1.3.2. So Chris will update that in the link. And let me see if I can. Let me see if I can change the URL, and it'll bring me to the right place. Yeah, there we go. So this is the most updated as of 2 days ago, 1.3.2, and we can check that out. The rotary changes and fixes. Adjustments to the rotary mode workflow will no longer store previous firmware values to be reapplied when exiting out of rotary mode, and default values will be used. So when you're clicking out of rotary mode, there won't be any sticking of EEPROM settings that affect your router jobs or your laser jobs. Updated rotary preferences, firmware configuration inputs, added toggle for display rotary tab on UI. So just like the laser, you'll be able to toggle. Adjustments to rotary surfacing, UI, and G-code output, and updated probe, rotary Z-axis and Y-axis alignment in G-code, which also helps the laser because if you're using the laser with the vortex, you're going to probe and line up your Y just like you would with your router, and then you can use the offset to kind of align your laser. Yeah, guys, Chris will update the link as soon as he can, but if you go to the regular, if you go to this link, and here at the top in the URL, you see that it says V1.3.0. You can just replace the O with 2. And then that'll bring you to this. So there's also some notes in version 1.3.1. So you can check out all these notes and fixes that happened in the last one. And then Chris just updated the link right now. So if you head over here, you should be taken to the right version, the most updated version. So yeah, link is updated, ready to go. Alan, Nick, I will let Leandro, Louis, and Paolo know that, as well as Johan and Daniel and whoever else was a part of the video, I'll let them know that you guys actually really did appreciate the walkthrough. And maybe there's some things that we did in that video that we might not have done in other videos that we can start implementing so that you guys get more information and even more enjoyment out of these videos. So that's great to know. We love the feedback, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. They have been working, the entire marketing team, the engineering team, they've been pushing. I know Chris with the resources. Chris was a big part of making sure and keeping the schedule of creating these resources kind of in check and making sure that we got to where we needed to go. And I know Daniel and Johan, this product is their baby. And I know they have been really pushing hard. So it's good to hear that all of our teams are kind of working in synergy to give you guys the best output, not just the best product, not just the best software experience, but also the best way of conveying the information and like the enjoyment of the product, which is essentially what we think, I think marketing is, right? Like I love doing these jobs because I just love using the laser. So it's fun to do it with you guys, and you guys can really see like I mess up all the time, but you guys see me mess up. You guys might help me correct something, and you get to see like a real world use case. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. Doug, you're an A1 customer. You're an A1 supporter. We appreciate you. Yeah, I think you'll have a blast with them. And if there's any issues with them, you just let us know. So again, guys, here's a bunch of other stuff that they added in the previous version of G-Sender Edge 3 1.3.1. So this also carries over to 1.3.2 and then all the other stuff that I detailed that got fixed or changed or upgraded in 1.3.2. So you guys can kind of read through this, fix the physical rotary unit setup, not outputting correctly, not outputting correct file in some instances, added Y-axis and Z-axis probing. That is amazing. Updates to rotary mode toggle will now prompt you with what action will be performed, so you get the information right away, so you're not guessing, hey, if I click this button, what's going to happen? You're going to be prompted. Added rotary tab and preferences to allow changes to firmware values and minor fixes to stock turning. So the next time you see me using G-Sender Edge, I will be using the most updated version, G-Sender Edge version 1.3.2. I think I'm going to start playing with my little belt-driven MK2, and then I can start playing with the super longboard in the next LaserBeam Live. So a laser might not get fired, but we're going to be playing with Lightburn and hopefully playing a little bit with Gerbil Hal and seeing what we can do with one of the older prototypes of the super longboard. Cheers. Bill, thank you so much. We appreciate that. I'm going to let the operations team know that they did a great job with the packaging. So Kenny asks, on the super longboard, will we have 2 Y proximity sensors? So I'm not 100% sure. So if Chris is still in the chat, he can answer. Or you can head over to the blog and see one of the older super longboard releases and see if there's any mention of 2 Y proximity sensors. They might not even be that far along where they can tell you for sure what exactly the settings are going to be on it or what inputs would be. Oh, boom, Chris to the rescue. Yes, they are aiming to have 2 Y proximity sensors. That's great to hear. This is going to be a very, very cool project. I feel like every time it's even whispered, customers come out of the woodwork to show their interest in it because it is really a cool piece of development, engineering, and passion being put into this product. And I feel like I can feel it. I'm not even a very technical guy. I'm more of a vibes and feeling and, you know, does it look good? But even I feel the palpable, like, excitement around the super longboard. Technically 4-axis control by default because they're aiming to have an independent Y-axis control, which is just like, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. All right, guys. We got about 10 more minutes of you enjoying my presence and me enjoying your presence because this is a two-way street, guys. I'm not taking without you giving, all right? So just know that. So again, this is stream number 2 where we didn't finish the project. And if you guys don't like this, we can always come with like smaller projects and smaller items and smaller spaces where we finish the project in the time allotted for the stream. But I like the idea of doing larger projects, and then I can always show you on the next time. And as long as we're consistent and we bring back the projects that we finish, then there'll always be something to show, and there'll always be something to do during the stream. So 5-axis control, that is the ability to have 5-axis control on a super longboard, where you have X, Y, Y, Z, and then the potential for A, whether that's our vortex or whether that's your own internal system. Yeah, people want to know, Chris, when is the potential releases? And I know we don't make promises until we know we can keep them. But what is the timeline looking at? Roughly a guesstimation. Nobody hold him to this because this isn't him promising. This is the people asking and to see if he's generous enough to give an estimated timeline of release. They are aiming for end of year. You heard it from our CTO himself. Of course, we don't make promises. When we make a promise, you'll know we're making a promise on delivery, and we'll do our best to keep that promise on delivery. So just, don't don't like circle the date. Circle the general timeline of that area in the year, end of year ish. Oh yeah, here, guys, I'll give you. I'll try to give you guys a preview here. Here, let me see if I can use my phone as the webcam. I should be able to do that. Okay. You guys can see. Hopefully, you guys can see that a bit. I'll make it a little bit bigger here. You guys can see the progress. We're about about a fourth of the way done the image. The image is going to be the bulk of it, and then it's going to be doing all the text afterwards. So we're going to end the stream in about 10 minutes, but I'm going to be at the office for another hour or two. It's looking like we got about an hour and 50 minutes, which I think it'll actually get finished in about an hour. So not too bad. Nothing too bad. I won't be here too late. I didn't realize how easy it was to use your iPhone as a webcam. Yeah, hopefully you guys can kind of see the details. With the Jarvising finish. And then I will switch the webcam back. So at least you guys aren't looking at nothing. Oh, wow. It's been a very long year. Remember when I was making a roller rotary axis? Ha ha ha. But we came out with the Vortex, an even better version of a rotary axis. And we'll continue to develop on that. Oh, it does need a pair of glasses. You're right. I should have screenshotted for true maximum laser authenticity. I should have screenshotted. So yeah, Chris is saying that there was a lot more safeties and safeguards built into the drivers because they really did want them to last a very long time. And the removables was like easy for repairs and stuff, but it probably hindered the reliability and other things like that. Alan, the air assist actually doesn't do too much for engraving. The air assist, unless you're finding that your smoke and debris is really building up in your area, like in my setup, like the smoke, just because of the airflow of the shop, it immediately goes upwards. But the air assist really shines when you are cutting, right? Because when you're trying to cut, the smoke, the particulate, all the debris that gets released when you're cutting and you're going that high power and that slowly, all that debris can stop you from cutting as deep as you should, right? So the air assist will like give you better burns if you're engraving, but it's not like anything that crazy. It's not anything that crazy that I would personally want to use it every time I engrave. But if I'm cutting, then I'm definitely using it because I will notice that, hey, I could have cut this 3mm birch in 3 passes, but without the air assist, it took me 4 passes. I will start to notice little things like that. Or maybe 4 passes, it didn't cut all the way through. I had to like punch it through, or I had to cut some straggly pieces of wood with an X-Acto knife to get it to punch through. That's where I really notice the air assist really shines with the laser. I think I did write about that in our resource section under the air assist. So the air assist. So less lens cleaning, of course. So you can use it all the time. Yes, I did actually. I have some parts coming in. I'm going to try to use our stock magnets that get used for the dust shoe, and the Vortex team actually use the stock magnets. So I think it'll make sense to use the stock magnets for our magnetic mount. So I'm currently working on a magnetic mount and magnetic connectors. So it'll be a cable kit that plugs into your regular connectors. One will just go all the way to your driver, so it'll be a replacement cable, and then one will just connect to our current connectors on the LaserBeam. So that technically will extend your LaserBeam wire a little bit, and then the connection will be magnetic. So Daryl, you can go to our last live stream to watch me use all the offsets. So I get the offsets for our version 1 and version 2, and I kind of go through the process of teaching you how to get the offsets for a 65mm router mount version 1 and 65mm router mount version 2. Just go to our YouTube channel. You can wait till the end of the stream, or you can go now. That information is more important than to you. And then all you have to do is take those values that I use. I kind of walk you through if you have which versions, what values you're using. Or you can kind of do it the DIY way, which I did at the end of that stream, which all I did was tap my wasteboard with a bit on the router, and then I physically moved my laser and turned it on and got that laser beam in the same spot as that router bit indentation was at, and then I just looked at the X and Y values in G-Sender, and that got us just about pretty close. You can dial things in from there, or you can go the other route where you're grabbing the drawing on our customer on our shop, right under the router mount. Whether you have version 1, version 2, version 3 of the router mount, you can grab a drawing. In our resources, you can get the offset of that. You get the offset of your laser. I kind of go through the entire process, but we will be putting that on our resources very soon. So the Vortex team is very busy, so I'm kind of working solo right now. And as soon as they have a little bit of time, I'll make sure all the information is congruent with the Vortex information. And then we'll be releasing an offset document that essentially shows you whether you're mounting your laser on the front, the left side, the right side, the regular mount, or the regular mount plus the Vortex riser mount. And then whether you have a 65, a 72, a 80mm, it doesn't matter. We're going to show you all the offsets for you. So just you can watch the last live stream. I 100% think you'll be able to figure it out after just watching the last live stream. I gave like 2 techniques to figuring out. The more like taking a look at the drawings and the 3D model and just calculating the actual offset based on the thickness and of all the material, the router mount, the laser mount, and all that fun stuff. Or just doing it the DIY way, poking a hole or like punching a hole, or even like putting you could put a pencil in your router and then just tap your waste material and then zero everything in G-Sender and then move it to the point where your laser is sitting in the same spot as the pencil tap, and then boom, look at G-Sender X and Y coordinates. You'll know exactly what your offset is. Dana, you're the absolute best. We appreciate you so much here. We love your content. We love the videos that you make. We love you are a pillar of our community, and we really do appreciate it. It has been an absolute great year. Chris, thank you so much. You're always kind of lurking in the chat, helping me answer questions when they're a little bit too technical or a little bit not in my department, and you're kind of always here to push us. Andy has supported this. He came up with the original idea, and he gave me the manpower and the time to kind of let this live stream fly and let me create it into something my own that I can call my own, that has my stamp and my personality stamped on it. And all you viewers, oh my God. Talk about nervous. You know why I'm nervous? Because I'm like, how much fun are we gonna have? You know why I'm nervous? I'm like, I just want to create something cool. You know what? I'm gonna switch that. I'm no longer nervous before my stream. I'm just excited. Guys, you guys have been the absolute best. Thank you for joining me on this 1 year anniversary of the LaserBeam Live. Anything you have to say in the chat, say it now, because we will be ending the stream in about 30 seconds. Jack in the shop, Alan, Bart, Bill, Chris, Daryl, Nicholas, Jack, Kenny, Dieter, Koala. I know Koala's not here, but I know he would have made it if he could. Bill, Dana, Doug, Nicholas, Jack, Kenny, Dieter, Koala, Alan, Jim, Chris. You guys are all the best. All right, let's bring it down. Let's bring the energy down. Let's bring the energy down. Thank you so much for the support, for the viewership, for the customership, for the opportunity to serve you in this community that was started a long time ago by two engineers, Chris and Andy, with a cool idea, and they pushed hard, and they built amazing teams of talent. They hired the best people. I really, truly love working here. It has been my absolute pleasure. It has been my absolute honor. You know the drill. My name is Ikenna Ofoha for CNC Labs. And when it is morning, I totally forgot that the laser was running. I was trying to do something cool with the glasses, but I regret that. But whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, or night, I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Chris, you're funny. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.